7 times. 7 times Tenzing Norgay tried to climb Everest. 7 times he failed. But here's what nobody tells you. Each failure nearly killed him. First attempt. Age 21. He was a porter, not a climber, just carrying supplies. The expedition failed at 7,000 meters. Weather turned violent. 3 men died.
Tenzing survived.
Barely. As they descended, he looked back at the mountain and made a promise. I'll return. Second attempt. Different team. Same mountain. This time they reached 7,500 meters. Closer, but not close enough. An avalanche swept through camp. Tenzing heard it coming, threw himself behind a rock. The snow buried him. He clawed his way out, gasping, choking, alive. 2 others weren't. Third attempt. Now he's not just a porter, he's a climber. They reached 8,000 meters. The death zone, where the air is too thin, where your brain starts dying. Tenzing felt it. The confusion, the exhaustion, the desire to just sit down and sleep forever. But he kept moving until his oxygen ran out. They had to turn back, so close, yet so impossibly far. Fourth attempt. 9 years since his last try. World War II happened in between. Tenzing was older now, 33. Some said too old for Everest. He proved them wrong, reached 8,300 meters higher than anyone before, but his climbing partner got altitude sickness, started hallucinating, talking to people who weren't there. Tenzing had a choice, keep climbing alone or save his partner. He chose his partner, helped him down, watched the summit disappear above. That night, someone asked him, "Do you regret turning back?" Tenzing said, "A man's life is worth more than a mountain." But his eyes told a different story. He regretted it, deeply. Fifth attempt, the Swiss expedition, the most important one before Hillary. They came so close, so impossibly close. Tenzing and Raymond Lambert reached 8,500 meters, just 300 meters from the summit. 300 meters. That's a football field. That's nothing. Except at that altitude, 300 meters is everything. Their oxygen failed. Their fingers were freezing. Their bodies were shutting down. Lambert looked at Tenzing. "We have to go back." Tenzing stared at the summit, right there, within reach. But Lambert was right. They were dying. They descended, defeated. That night, Tenzing couldn't sleep. He had been so close, closer than any human ever, and still failed. Why? What was missing? What more did he need? Sixth attempt. Same year. Fall season. The Swiss returned. Tenzing returned with them. This time, they didn't even reach the previous high point. Weather was too bad, conditions too dangerous. They barely made 7,000 meters before turning back. Tenzing felt something break inside him. Not physically, emotionally. 6 times, 6 failures, 15 years of trying. Maybe the mountain was telling him something. Maybe he wasn't meant to reach the top. Maybe he should give up. His wife begged him to stop. "You have children. They need a father, not a dead hero." Tenzing couldn't argue. She was right. But every time he looked at Everest from his village, something pulled him back. Unfinished business. An unanswered question. Can I do it? 7th attempt. The British expedition. Edmund Hillary. Tenzing almost didn't go. He was tired, physically and mentally exhausted. But something was different this time. Hillary was different. Hillary didn't treat him like a porter, or a guide, or hired help. Hillary treated him like a partner. When they trained together. When they planned together. When they made decisions, they decided together. For the first time in 15 years, Tenzing felt like an equal. That changed everything. The climb began. Same mountain, same dangers, same deadly conditions. But Tenzing was different now. Not stronger, not faster, but wiser. 6 failures had taught him every mistake, every wrong turn, every dangerous route. He knew this mountain better than anyone alive. At Camp 8, the night before the summit attempt, Tenzing couldn't sleep. Tomorrow was it, the 7th attempt, his last chance. He was 39 years old, too old for Everest by most standards. This was it, success or give up forever. He looked at Hillary sleeping across the tent, the only Western climber who ever respected him. If he was going to fail a 7th time, at least it would be with someone he trusted. At 4 a.m., they woke, started climbing. By 8,000 meters, Tenzing's body was screaming, "Stop! Rest! Go back!" But he remembered the first 6 times, the failures, the deaths, the regret. Not this time. At the Hillary step, the 40-foot ice wall, Tenzing watched Hillary climb first. Hillary struggled, slipped, nearly fell. But he made it. Then he looked down at Tenzing, reached out his hand. "Together," Hillary said. Tenzing grabbed his hand, climbed, and for the first time in 7 attempts, something felt different. They were going to make it. At 11:30 a.m., May 29, 1953, they stood at the summit. Tenzing looked around. The world below him, the sky above him, nothing higher. He had done it. 7 attempts, 15 years, 6 failures. But the 7th time succeeded. He fell to his knees, not from exhaustion, from emotion. All those years, all those deaths, all those failures, they meant something now. Hillary took his photo, the famous image, ice axe raised, flags flying, but what the photo doesn't show is the tears. Tenzing was crying behind his goggles where nobody could see, crying for the men who died trying, crying for the years he sacrificed, crying for the doubt he carried, and crying because he had proven something, not to the world, to himself. He was enough. 7 attempts. Most people quit after 1, after 2, definitely after 3. But Tenzing kept trying. Why? Because quitting meant wondering forever. What if I had tried one more time? He couldn't live with that question. So he kept climbing, even when it seemed hopeless. Even when everyone said stop, he kept climbing. And on the 7th attempt, when most people would have given up years ago, he reached the top. That's the real story. Not the summit, the persistence. 7 times he tried, 6 times he failed, 1 time he succeeded. But that 1 time made all the difference. Years later, someone asked him, "What if you had quit after the 6th attempt?" Tenzing smiled. "Then I would have died wondering, and that's worse than dying trying." The lesson is simple. Success isn't about never failing, it's about never stopping. Tenzing failed 6 times, but he's remembered for the 7th, not because the 7th was easy, but because he was brave enough to try it. How many people quit at attempt 3, or 4, or 5? How many dreams die because someone stopped 1 attempt too early? Tenzing could have stopped, should have stopped. Everyone told him to stop, but he didn't, and that's why his name lives forever. Not because he succeeded, but because he refused to quit. 7 attempts, 6 failures, 1 success. That's not a story about climbing, that's a story about life.